Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show back at Thistle Hill. Going to give you an update what's going on. Nearly finished with the restoration. Come join me. Okay guys, so we are kind of getting to the tail end of this thing. Remember, we've got restoration work, okay, and then the second phase is the adaptive reuse, okay? So the owner hasn't figured out exactly what they want to do with the building. So this phase was really just focusing on restoring, okay? So really we're talking about everything on the exterior. We haven't done really anything on the interior except for the windows. It's been a masonry job, it's been a roofing job, which you start to see going back on now. It's been a window job, right? So sealing up the outside of the house, working on the foundation, all of those good things. Let me show you some of the cool things we've done. Come join me. Look at these gates, right? And these are kind of back restored. They were stripped down, the rust was taken off and then repainted. They're really in beautiful shape. We've already talked about all the great ironwork and the details that they did with the rivets and the grafts and the way they penetrated things and the way they built things so well, so much better than it is today. These are new, okay? We took these down and put them back up. Those really have just been restored and cleaned. All the stone here, in fact, if you look down and see the entry gate for the walking, all of this ironwork has been painted, restored, cleaned, and put back up, and it looks awesome. You're gonna notice as we're walking along that the masonry was a huge piece of this project. Getting the masonry right was a really big part of improving this. And so you're gonna see as we walk around, little things like where those gates were messed up, new gates, new steel inside there. They were laid up properly. Remember, the masonry on an historic building, this is something you need to remember, does not go back with Portland cement. We had to test the mortar, we had to test it, make sure what was in it, the lime and everything else, so that we could get the parts and pieces right. If you go back with Portland, it can cause your brick to fail, called spalting. And we've seen that on some of the other projects. That the house over the Italian Revival house, that has spalting on it. So it's really an important piece of it. The roof that we're going to go up there, we're going to check that out. But the new copper flat roof, we're going to see that that's soldered edges, new copper on the seams. The cornices have been restored, so that's really a lot of fun. Come on, let's show you some of these cool things. All right guys, this is fun, right? Because last time we were here, this was all rotted. Remember I was pulling these down and these blocks were gone? Those blocks are down there. I'm gonna show them to you there in a sec. This is really finished work now. No, it's all protected, new trim, new cornices. The roof's been sealed on the top, but now this is back the way it should be. Awesome, primed, ready to get painted. We're almost done here. This is awesome. So what is the longest lasting possible roof? Is it, tar and gravel? No. Is it TPO? No. It's copper, right? And this is a flat seamed soldered copper roof. We got a new one here, right? So this is what we decided was the longest lasting possible roof that we could have. We've matched it here. It was a built up roof, modified bitumen. We've gone back with copper, an awesome new roof sitting here. This is something that's going to last, 100 years. This is something that is one of those longevity reasons that you build stuff. And oh, by the way, remember this molding here, this was all rotted out. We've now laid this up, run it in new material. It's all in sapele, I'm pretty sure, but this is all new material back in place, back the way it should be. So good stuff here, building it like it should last 100 years. This is our example. There's what we did. Awesome stuff. Okay guys, I feel like we continue to stand here and look at these things. You notice the windows are back in. The windows here were completely restored. We took every window out, we restored it and then brought it back. We've got new weather stripping going in. I'll show you some of that on the interior. But the quality of the wood, I've said this 100 times, I'm gonna say it again, was so good that all it really required on here was sanding, cleaning, fixing, right? There wasn't a pull the window out, no getting the Anderson renewal in here. This is beautiful historic windows that needed to go back. Remember, we've got curved glass. Remember, we've got double hung windows. It's incredible. Remember last time we were talking, this was open, right? All the brick was opened up in here because they were restoring this, building a new base here along here. but this has all been restored and put back, and you see the masonry put back in place. The cornice work that we looked at, right, you see the continuation of that up here where that's been restored in those pieces. Here's what we did, guys. Those big blocks that we were looking at, it came from big cypress beams like this. So these cypress beams were actually cut, made into those blocks, those modillion blocks that came through there. This is the material that we used, right? So we've gone back with cypress because we believe that's what it originally was, and so we've gone back with this wood that's going to last a very long time. It's covered. There is no rain that gets to it unless there's a leak like there was, but this is kind of how we made those big modillions. I wanted to show you that material. Let's look back here and see what's going on in this carriage house, because the roof's finally going on. Now remember, we got a Ludowici roof, okay? Ludowici is that roof company I love. It's out of Ohio. They make clay tile roofs like we make millwork, okay? Everything's custom, everything's handmade, generations practiced and proven. So we've got a Ludowici roof going on here. It is representing a shake roof because we're looking at the Sanborn maps. We're trying to figure out what this roof really was, and we think that it was a shake roof. On this part of the roof, it's a green glazed tile roof, okay? So two different types there, but you see this one going on now. Awesome details, we can go check that out. All right, so two things to notice here, guys. Look what they're doing there, okay? We did get approval from the THC, we did talk to the architect. There was 2 columns there, not 1, okay? So we're actually going back, we're going back with that original arrangement. When the architect drew it up, it looked awesome the way they were done it. Norm Alston is our architect on this job. Really knowledgeable preservation architect. We've got new columns going in there, so those have been ordered. We had ordered new custom capitals, okay? We had the original ones with egg and dart and all those things. Went over to Cashy, also Decorator Supply. They are remaking those for us based on those original things. So we've got a real great restoration going here. And then you look up here and there's our, shake roof that is a very long lasting. This is a 75-year roof, a 100-year roof. And so we've gone back with this Ludowici tile. The weight of that was a big deal, guys. And remember, we did a lot of framing and structural work inside there to beef this thing up and to hold it up. They had put an asbestos tile roof on there, which was a joke. So we've gone back with something, but we've also know that we've got the structural integrity in there, so it's gonna hold. On this roof, we had a fake Ludowici roof, right? It was a clay tile roof, but it was really heavy. 100,000 pounds is how much it weighed. The Ludowici is gonna be about 60,000 pounds, right? So it's, almost half as much as far as the weight goes, and it's a better roof, it's longer lasting. You remember, guys, when we went to the Ludowici factory on that factory tour and we had the pressure tested where it actually broke the tile and was pushing down on the strength of that Ludowici tile is really so much better than the comparisons. It's such a dense clay. It's not this open clay that's gonna hold a lot of water. The moisture content's amazing, so it's really a special roof. One of the things that's fun is to come back in here now that the windows are back in, because the light is fantastic, right? It's really awesome. One of the things we found when we were looking for this is this curious little thing, and this is a call out to anybody who knows what this is. We'd love to understand it better, but looking on the windows, look at this. So there is a button, right? Or a kind of a catch that goes down that looks like it was some kind of a signal, okay, that the window was up or something. Every other window, there's a catch there, and in fact, this window, the catch is gone, okay, but there's a wire there. So in 1904 or 1911, when they redid it, is it possible that they had an alarm system? Is it possible they had a wired alarm system to the windows? And if so, why did you do every other one, right? And so it's curious, call out, anybody run across it and figure out what that is, I would love to know, but that's a little bit of a mystery they kind of figured out as we got in here. So in case you guys just saw that, look what's happening. Okay, this window is flying up in the air. Now, why is that? One, we might have a situation where our weights are too heavy, right? The weights are too heavy. Maybe we didn't put the right ones back in there. The weather stripping may not be tight enough, but look what the other thing is. There's no stop on this window, okay? And so there's no stop here, but there's stop here. Okay, and that stop is screwed in place, okay? And so what that screws did was it allowed the window to, if it was cold in the winter, you could tighten those up and really tighten down these windows so that there was less air getting into them. But it kind of surprises you when that window comes up. but we're gonna lock it in place. And when we get finished trimming this out, we'll make sure that the weights are adjusted and everything else was working out. But these windows have been weather stripped. All the stop and stuff isn't back in. We're 99% there, but not quite there. Fun little thing there with that window. So what we weren't able to show you before, remember there's a stained glass here and a stained glass here. It's kind of funny because this wall bisects this window right here. And so this is on the inside, technically, well, actually, and this is on the outside. And there was that wire dome around this, because remember, this window pivots, okay? I don't know if you remember looking at this window, but there's pivot hardware right here, okay? And you can see the lock right here where it could lock in place. So the screen was rounded so this window could pivot and open up, right? And let the air move through here. This one obviously didn't pivot because it was on the inside, and so it wouldn't have done any good, but you're still getting natural light from here and natural light from there. So it's kind of an interesting view now that it's gone, because you're seeing the back stair, right? Here's the front stair, there's the back stair, kind of cool. Okay guys, Thistle Hill, right? Nearly done with this preservation portion. Restoring this thing, remember how dirty it was? Remember as we stood here, you saw all that rust and everything underneath here and all that rot that was coming down because it was leaking so bad. It's all cleaned up now. Remember the windows needed restoration. Remember the brick was in terrible shape. Remember there was gaps in where all the mortar was. Now it's really coming back to life, really exciting. We should have 1 or 2 more updates to show you when the roof gets on. When we finally take the scaffolding down, it'll be a lot of fun to see. I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.